Hello and welcome to Morning Sun. Let's get started with the latest and greatest. Today we're going to talk about Oklahoma. I don't know if you guys have been to Oklahoma. I haven't. I might check it out after this pandemic is over. Not number one on my list, but I'm going to be traveling a lot because I just need to stretch my legs and get out, get some fresh sunshine. But anyway, Oklahoma, land of cowboys, oils, Native American reservations, last stop on the Trail of Tears, when the U.S. government, Andrew Jackson, Arthur Van Buren, rounded up the five major Native American tribes east of the Mississippi and relocated them in Oklahoma. There's actually going to be I think it was American Indian Museum. I think they renamed it to First Peoples Museum. It's it's been under construction for at least 5 or more years. It's supposed to open May 2021. You should all check it out. I've heard good things. But let's get into this news from last month. So there was a Supreme Court ruling which has pretty groundbreaking implications. So this landmark ruling, it was a close one, 5-4, and the justices concluded that basically half of the state, looking at the map right now, like close to half the state, the eastern state, is actually native land. So here's Oklahoma, aerial shot for anyone who wants to check it out. And after the ruling, this is what we got. According to the Supreme Court, as of last month, like I don't know, July 10th, 15th, something probably like early July 2020, this is all native land, which is pretty huge when you think about Oklahoma and all the implications that this could have. I mean, I'm talking about oil rights implications, land that was privately owned or federalized that companies have been drilling on that is now native land. So, what does that mean? Crimes that were committed on that land, even going back 10, 20, 30 years ago to today, um, federal crimes that people were convicted and prosecuted on. If that's native land, then they really have no bearings to convict or bring a case unless in conjunction with the tribal council, depending on how that land ownership shakes out. So it's all really interesting. And how this case came about, um, I'm going to probably butcher this guy's name. Jimcy McGirt. He was convicted in 1997 for raping a 4-year-old girl um, in this area, I believe. Um, and but he appealed the case, and eventually, like on the ground was that like he committed this crime on native land, and decades later it got up to the Supreme Court, and they actually ruled in his favor. So like we talked about before, that has pretty wide-ranging implications. I mean, I imagine a lot of other people convicted of crimes will be appealing this case. I don't know what that means. What does it mean for other states? I think this was just really. I think this ruling only applies to Oklahoma, but it could apply to other states. So it's pretty interesting. A lot of articles about this. Let's see, BBC. Yeah, U.S. Supreme Court ruling in Oklahoma. NPR. So yeah, there's a lot of stories. So check it out. It's pretty interesting. Um, Half of Oklahoma, Indian County. What if all native treaties were upheld? Yeah, like we just talked about. Uh, I think it's pretty game changing. Um, and who knows? Who knows if the government, state or federal, if they're going to adhere to this? Because I mean, let's not pretend like the Supreme Court hasn't ruled in favor of the First Peoples before. I mean, back in the mid 1800s, when they were being relocated, there were similar cases being brought up, and not just by Native Americans, by like white people with like in a similar manner that were convicted on these lands for like living on native lands or doing stuff on native lands, and they were saying, well, these aren't federal lands. How do they convict us? And Andrew Jackson, federal government, it was just kind of like, too bad. We're gonna keep going. So um, let's keep an eye on this. This is a story I'm gonna keep an eye on, and I think you all should too. But I will post these articles down in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I thought this was pretty interesting. This is just some news that people probably overlooked, considering we're in a pandemic, COVID-19, and there's all this stuff going on. Beirut the other day, prayers and thoughts to them. That was pretty devastating. But this seemed like some good news, so hopefully, just brighten up your day, and it's something just to keep you informed going forward. Till next time, true believers, Morning Sun minions.